So, as we're evolving with naturopathic medicine, there's certainly a lot of things that we're trying to standardize as we launch and recruit more, expose more people to this awesome medicine that we have. And in your professional opinion, what are the values that you would like to see from naturopathic students and naturopathic doctors?
Well, there's going to be a number of similarities with a visit that a patient would have with for instance, a primary care doctor, an allopathic doctor, an MD doctor. Expect, for instance, a good history and physical. So expect we're gonna want to know your current opinion about your health, how you feel, how if you don't feel well, how long have you not felt well? We'll ask you to rate that, but then we're also concerned about, that is, by the way, referred to as subjective findings. We want to know some objective findings. We want to know what medications are you on. We want to know what supplements you may be taking. If we can take a look at laboratory tests, if we can take a look at x-ray reports, those are all things that any primary care doctor would want to know in terms of someone's history. So we're not just going to blindly start doing something to you. We're not going to blindly start doing our particular physical medicine. But once we get a background on you, where you stand, where you think you stand, some of your actual medical history, in terms of objective findings, we will then do a number of tests. We'll test you in terms of orthopedic tests, neurological tests. We'll do some things that are very, very unique, which are naprapathic findings, which are some findings that we take along the spine, and in particular, other kind of findings. We're interested in a posture analysis. So we're actually gathering a tremendous amount of data. So hopefully the patient will appreciate that. Other healthcare professionals will appreciate that. That we are operating from evidence. We're gathering evidence. We're gathering data. So what we do is based on what we find, which is the important message. So certain techniques are standardized, but we have to know when to apply those techniques, when not to apply those techniques. We also make use of nutritional counseling, nutritional advice. We expect a naturopathic doctor to have very good command of nutritional information. By the way, a background to that is biochemistry, but to have a good understanding of things, when to prescribe something, when not to prescribe something. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's always safe. So, for instance, just as an example, we need to know that a patient, let's say, is taking an SSRI medication. It's unfortunately, that's too frequent, unfortunately, but we need to know if a patient is taking an SSRI. Why? Because we certainly don't want to prescribe something like tryptophan. So tryptophan is, yes, it's a natural amino acid. It's very helpful for many, many things, especially helping people sleep, but we don't want to prescribe something natural like tryptophan for a patient taking SSRIs. Why? Because we would risk that patient having a serotonin toxicity incident. So we need to know things like that. So we need to be very good at gathering as much information as possible. That getting a very good history and physical, taking the time to get that information so we can do the right thing. Prescribe the right supplements, for instance.
Okay.